is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Good morning, Mr. Rubin. Mr. Barrera, this is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. Can you see if you make a connection with my headsets?
Certainly, Your Honor.
Sí, buenos días, yo lo escucho.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Buenos días, señor juez. Mi nombre es Walter Uriel Cardona Vázquez. Cardona Vázquez.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Walter Uriel Cardona Vasquez.
Mr. Cardona Vasquez, you're here in case 2021 MM 6198W on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Still have one question. Is this prior battery case involving the same victim?
Your Honor, I did a limited search of Orange County and I couldn't find it. Give me time, I can do a further search, but in Orange County, I did not find it.
All right, Mr. Cardona Vasquez, going to set your bond in this case amount $2,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
Sí, quisiera saber qué va a pasar con mi hijo.
And what's going to happen with my son?
You have to take that up with the family court, sir. Right now, you are not allowed to have any contact with the victim in this case. Do not violate my orders, because otherwise you can stand here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Sí, lo entiendo, señor.
Yes, I understand, sir.
Was that 2,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Sí. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Tommy Mojica.
Tommy Mojica.
Mr. Mojica, you're here in case 2021 MM 6682AO on a charge of battery dating violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. One second. I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,000. Is going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
No, yo tengo un hijo deshabilitado. Solo tengo que ir a... ¿Dónde tengo que ir para bregar con eso?
No, I just have a disabled son. Where do I need to go to deal with that?
said you have the same old. I didn't hear the last part of what you said.
Your Honor, interpreter will render the interpretation again. I have a son who's disabled. Where do I go to deal with that?
If you have a shared son with this victim, you probably need to take that with family court. Right now, you have no contact violations of my orders will result in you spending a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail. All right, have a great day.
You as well.
All right, Mr. Interpreter, could you make an announcement in the gallery to see if I need any of my victims need your services?
Certainly, Your Honor. Su atención, por favor. Cualquier persona que se encuentre en el público que necesite los servicios del intérprete en español, por favor, alce la mano en este momento.
All right, don't see any hands raised. But if you're in my gallery, if you can make sure your face is covered. And have a great day, Mr. Interpreter.
You as well, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, sir. It's Christopher Cutler.
Mr. Cutler, here in case 2021 CT 2082AO on a violation of probation. Judge signing your warrant in that case, set your bond at no bond. Your bonds remain at no bond as to that case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you as to that case. You have a great day, sir. Yeah, afterwards. All right, well, we can kick him out later if he comes to that. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Greg Burns.
Mr. Burns, you're here in case 2021 CF 12673AO on 3 counts of aggravated child abuse with a weapon. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Samantha Hunter.
Ms. Hunter, can you tell me your relationship to this case?
This is my father and the child is my child.
Okay. All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
I can.
Well, best you can. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
I can put your hand down. All right. Ma'am, first things, was DCF contacted after this case was over with?
No, DCF has been involved already
All right.
because of the behavior of my child.
All right, but were they contacted as a result of this case?
Not that I know of as yet. He's in the psychiatric hospital at this moment. So I will be contacting them later on today, or they will be contacting me.
Well, more is the mandatory reporting case that I was trying to make sure that DCF was contacted. So you said you have evidence, or somebody has evidence that DCF was contacted by related to this case?
Yes, Your Honor. On the first line, it does say that they were contacted, and also on the face sheet where it says DCF notified, it does have a Y there for yes.
All right. And your child is 10, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Did you want to tell me anything about the release conditions I'm going to set for your father?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you, but I was trying to be here because the problem is the child was physically assaulting me and bashing my head in. And my dad was genuinely trying to help protect me because I lost conscience a couple times.
Right.
And my son is he is in the psychiatric ward for the 12th time right now, or they're moving him.
Right.
And so the situation that was played out was not really the way it was. And my dad has never been in trouble a day in his life. He's never raised his voice. He was literally trying to protect me because I was in a lot of danger.
Okay. All right. Say you have any questions for the witness?
I do not, Your Honor.
And Ms.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. George. All right, Mr. Burns is going to set your bond, each case in amount, each count amount of $2,000, conditioning your bond. No contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you one-time return. If you're already living in a shared residence, if the victim is still there, give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to return to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say, I will remove myself from his home with my child.
Yeah,
Okay.
the idea is to keep them separate for now.
Right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't made him to leave his home. I would
No.
definitely leave his home. That is his home.
That's why I said maintain a separate residence, not
Yes, sir.
return to the scene of the location.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Absolutely.
All right, have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, I want to take care of the sheriff's office real quick, and then we're going to recess for a quick moment. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Hi, how you doing, sir? My name Elijah Warren Culpepper.
Mr. Culpepper, you're here in case 2021 CF 12465 AO on charge of burglary of a conveyance with assault battery therein, battery, felony battery, tampering with a witness to hinder communication, and false imprisonment. They reviewed the charging affidavit. The charging affidavit in this case did find probable cause for your arrest. Give me 1 second here.
Excuse me, sir. Can I say something?
Nope, I suggest you don't. If you have a question, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you and talk to Ms. George, because everything you tell me is on a record can be used against you.
Sir, it wouldn't be anything that'll mess me up, because I honestly didn't do it. I just wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, still the same thing. Probably you want to ask her the question first before, because probably I'm not going to be able to answer it. Sorry, there's a warrant for your arrest in this case to find a probable cause for your arrest. Apologize. And state as to count one, what are you asking me to do as to this case?
Burglary of a conveyance with assault or battery therein is punishable by life, Your Honor. I would ask that defendant be held no bond.
All right. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you, Ms. Culpepper, like I said.
Your Honor, we reserve the right to have Arthur here.
All right. And did I need to address anything else with Mr. Culpepper with his question?
No, he's just stating that these charges are, quote, BS, Your Honor.
Yeah. So, cover your face. So that may be true. I'm not a judge to determine that.
No, I know, sir. What I'm saying is, like, they kind of picked me up yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know, like, I would have turned myself in if I
Yeah.
had anything, because, like, I'm honestly, I'm changed, man. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't grow up. I'm 23 years old. I'm already labeled. I don't need to be out here, especially with girl problems or none of that. I never had none of them, sir. You know what I mean?
All right. I got you. But as to this case, based on the warrant affidavit I read, in this case, the court is going to hold you at no bond as to count one. Count two, going to set your bond in the amount of $3,500. Count 3 and 4 going to be $150. Condition of your bond is that you had no contact with the victim in this case, not return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. If you all do have a shared residence, once you are released, I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have. And you may not possess any you may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to return over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I appointed the public defender to represent you in this case. Get you in front of your division judge for you guys to have a full-blown Arthur hearing and have the opportunity for the victim to be heard. And that way, that judge possibly sets some release conditions if the judge feels appropriate in that case.
Say,
All right.
say that last part again.
All right, good one. 1 second. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Charlie Ellis.
You said Ellis?
Yes, sir.
How did he end up? You said Ellis?
Ellis?
All right. How did he end up at the beginning up here when he's an out of county case? Was he a... Okay. All right. He's here for overline. Mr. Ellis, you're here for overline arrest. Your agency number is 202120001467. You're arrested for a Seminole County charge, robbery, sudden snatching, grand theft motor vehicle, and assault, domestic violence. You will remain your bonds at no bonds as to those cases. Get you sent over to Seminole County as soon as possible. Guess you had no contact with the victim in other cases.
No bonds?
No bonds, sir. I'm not. This is a Seminole County case. Have a great day. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Armando Raymond Flores.
So Flores, you're here in case 2020 CF 79450 on a charge of burglary of a dwelling with assault, battery in with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. Judge signed a warrant in this case, already found probable cause for your arrest. Say what you asked me to do as to count one in this case.
Burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein, especially with a firearm, is punishable by life. At this time, I would ask defendant be held no bond.
And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, Mr. Flores. Ms.
No.
George.
No argument, Your Honor. Reserve the right to have argument.
All right, Mr. Flores, as to count one, going to stay your bond at no bond in that, in count one. We're going to set bond in count two in amount of $3,500, count three $1,000, and count four $100. Condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from that victim, give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. We're going to appoint the public defender, already appointed public defender to represent you. You're also not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Give me 1 second here.
Yes, sir. All right, you got one.
All right. Mr. State, 1 second.
At the time of the,
Don't talk about the facts of your case. Everything you telling me is on the record. State that he's on probation, Seminole County case 2018 CF 1655AO. He's a violent felony offender of special concern. He asking that
They already have a.
they already had to hold on. I see he has a warrant out for his arrest.
It's a warrant already on, like, a hold for him for that warrant.
All right. All right, Mr. Flores, the Seminole County is already going to hold you, has on your violation of probation in this case. Even though it looks like your probation time has finished, but the probation is still outstanding, the violation is still outstanding.
they wanted to, I was actually supposed to complete probation.
Yeah, I'm saying like, so the time, the time is run. So the time is the time we're on probation. If you violate your probation, it tolls that time for the purpose of your violation of probation. So you're no longer actually on probation anymore, but your violation of probation is still outstanding. So you still can be sanctioned for violating your probation if found by a court to have done so.
Just a second, Your Honor, just to explain.
Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, sir, have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, my name is Jacob Gallagher.
Mr. Gallagher, you're here in case 2021 CF 12640AO on charge of battery, felony battery, and battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $1,500. Count 2, $100. Condition of your bond, no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Harley Gillenwater.
Mr. Gillenwater, you're here in case 2021 CF 12674AO on charges of battery, domestic violence by strangulation, false imprisonment, dating violence, tampering with witness to hinder communication with law enforcement, battery, dating violence, and criminal mischief. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $3,500, count 2, $150, count 3, $150, count 4, $100, and count 5, $100. Condition your bond, no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
No.
All right. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, sir. Dante Goodman.
Mr. Goodman, you're here in cases 2021 CF 12660AO on charge of aggravated assault, dating violence, battery, dating violence. You're also here in case 2021 MM 6733AO on charges of battery, dating violence. I reviewed the charging affidavits. In these cases, did find probable cause for your arrest. 1 second here.
That's not too easy.
Say both of these were out of the same incidents, correct? Oh no, I wasn't reading.
I thought they were separate. Let me. September 22nd. Yeah, I believe one was earlier in the day, Your Honor.
All right, earlier in the day, okay. That's what it was. All right, sir, I did find probable cause for your arrest as to those charges. Count 1 in 2021 CF 12660 AO. Going to set your bond in that matter at amount $3,000. Count 2, $500. And in 2021 MM 6733 AO, going to set your bond amount of $1,000. Condition in both cases are the same. No contact with the victim. Maintain a separate residence from the victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases.
Sir.
Sir, it seems you're out on bond in ROR in case 2020 CF 9684 AO. Court find probable cause that you committed new law offenses while you're out on release in those cases. Going to revoke the bonds or RORs in those cases. Going to set new bonds at $0 as to those cases. I believe you already had a public defender representing you in that case. You have a great day, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Nathan Grubbs.
Mr. Grubbs, you're here in case 2021 CF 12662 AO on charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $5,000. Condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim in that case. You maintain a separate residence from that victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that matter. Since you're out on bond in PTR in case 2020 CF 3819 AO. Court finding probable cause to commit a new law offense of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Domestic violence is going to revoke that bond. We're going to set a new bond at $0 as to that case. I believe you already had the public defender representing you. Ms. George, I think Mr. Grubbs had a question. I'm going to have you ask Ms. George your question because everything you asked me is on the record.
I think it was Miss George, sir.
Ms. George is coming to you right now.
Out of bond, I think he has a private attorney.
You have a private attorney? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay. So I won't appoint a public defender in that case.
Your Honor, he stayed in for his out on bond case. His attorney, his private counsel had a hearing before a judge this morning, but he was planning to make himself available for you this afternoon via Zoom for the out on bond.
So the other thing.
I don't see any hearings set before Judge Blackman today.
Not on this. He's
No, so as to the out on bond case 2020 CF 3819 AO, Mr. Ledan represents you in that case.
I guess he said that he called him about this case, Your Honor, and he was gonna come before you this afternoon. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I guess they can just, if he showed up and talk to you about it, I'm not sure how that works. He said by Zoom.
I mean, I'll recall the case if they contact me, but I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
They haven't contacted my JA. The person they need to be contacting is Judge Blackman.
Okay.
And Katrina, because he's the one that actually controls the destiny of that situation.
Yeah, but tell him.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yep. No bond. Revoke, bond, no bond. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Christopher Gurganis.
Say your last name. Gurganis?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gurganis, you're here in case 2021 CF 1266AO on charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant person, dating violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,000. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return if you guys have a shared residence with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order, sir?
Yes, sir.
You have a question about the stipulations?
Yes, sir.
What's the question?
Oh, she supposed to have my baby, though. I'm supposed to go see her.
Yep, but right now, no contact.
How long?
Until somebody in a black robe looks like me, probably tells you no contact. If she tries to contact you, you need to avoid her. You need to solve some other issue, you need to take that up with a division judge, or you need to go to family court, file a paternity action. Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ricardo Villanueva Jr.
All right, Mr. Villanueva, you're here in case 2021 CF 12675 AO on charge of battery, dating violence, false imprisonment, dating violence, kidnapping, aggravated assault, dating violence, and robbery. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. State, what are you asking to do is to count 3 of this charging affidavit.
Kidnapping is an offense that is punishable by life, Your Honor. I would ask you hold defendant, no bond.
Mr. Villanueva, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Ms. George, do you have any response to the state's request?
No, Your Honor, we just reserve the right to have our hearing.
All right. Mr. Villanueva, in count 1 of this case, going to set your bond amount of $100. Count 2, $150. I'm going to stay your bond at no bond as to count 3. Count 4, going to set your bond in the amount of $5,000, and count 6, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $5,000. Condition of your bonds, no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm also going to appoint the public defender, appointed the public defender to represent you. You're also not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order? All right, that order still remains in place while you're in custody here in Orange County Jail.
He has 2 cases. He has a misdemeanor.
The resisting case?
Yes.
Only one I had was, only one I reviewed was the felony case. Unless you have a paperwork for a misdemeanor case? Only one I had scanned in was that case. Like, gives it to me. You have the. Let's see, look it up. 2021 MM 6678. Looked like he was I-8 yesterday on that.
He was I-8 yesterday?
Yep.
Sorry. Resume.
All right. All right, Mr. Villanueva, have a great day. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Nicole Spangler.
Ms. Spangler, you're here in case 2021 CF 12667 AO on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery domestic violence. I did find probable cause for your arrest as those charges. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Giancarlo Bologna. It's Bologna.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Miss Spangler?
Miss Spangler is my fiance. We live together.
Okay. And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes, I would very much appreciate contact with her, yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
And the drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
I believe so, sir.
Which one?
I believe drinking was the issue, and she takes medication, and I think that there was a bad combination between the two. I think it's a rare event, you know.
Yeah. Say you got any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Spangler, in count one, going to set your bond in the amount of $1,000. Count two, $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Are you requesting drug testing in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
May you be subject to random drug testing through pretrial release in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a question, talk to Ms. George. I was like, you have a question. It looks like you have a question, so I'll have to talk to your attorney.
May I ask a question also?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way to change the no contact?
Yes, sir. You can get in front of your division judge in this case, which I believe was Ms. Spangler. Judge O'Kane. Well, Judge O'Kane for the next 7 days. And then we're not sure if division will be open. Judge O'Kane for the next 7 days, and then I'm not sure the new judge is going to fill that position. But your division judge can always modify my conditions, but that's up to them whether they feel that's appropriate at the time.
Okay, and that's here in this building, right?
Nope, that's not here. This is downtown, the courthouse.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Irving James Barrett, Jr.
Mr. Barrett, you're here in case 2021 MM 219AE on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for that arrest. You give me something? All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Valeri Joseph, Joseph.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And you put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Barrett?
He's my boyfriend.
All right. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Barrett while this case is pending?
Absolutely.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
Not necessarily.
Wasn't that necessarily? It's either you all have been in domestic violence instances, or you have not.
Just one other, but that was
all right.
About 5-10 years ago.
And are you familiar with Mr. Barrett's domestic violence history?
I am.
All right. Well, say you want to inform Ms. Joseph, you said correct?
Correct.
All right, Ms. Joseph.
Arrest, Your Honor, or convictions?
Everything.
Can I speak?
Yeah, I want to get this information, make sure you have a full informed decision about what you're asking me to do.
Carry on.
In 2011, there was an arrest for battery by strangulation, which was dropped by the state. Uh, 2012, there was an incident, a domestic violence incident, which was also dropped by the state.
Was all involved in Ms. Joseph or someone else?
The 2012 is involving Ashley Allen. The 2011 was involving Valeri Joseph. Mm-hmm. 2016, also dropped by the state. Victim was Lashina Gavin. There's one that goes back to 1996. That victim was Melinda Jackson. There's a 2019 case that was dropped by the state. Victim was Louise Horace. Those are all of the domestic violence cases that I see in Orange County, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Joseph, knowing all of that, you still want to have contact with
Absolutely.
Mr. Barrett? All right. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to look Ms. George, oh, Gio, okay.
All these women.
Somebody's.
Cheating.
Me being arrested. Yeah, man.
Your Honor, given that his out on bond is from 2018, I would ask that you consider not revoking and holding him at no bond. He has 0 failures to appear. It looks like his last conviction was in 2017.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at what's going on with his other case. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Is it okay that I speak?
Give me 1 second. Let me just. Just trying to finish reading here. I'm sorry.
No worries.
All right. All right, go ahead, Ms. Joseph. You said you want to tell me something.
Okay, I want to go ahead and stand in front of the court and admit that I did falsify as far as him physically putting his hands on me due to the fact that I knew his situation and I was just trying to go ahead and scare him, using that as a scare tactic to get him out of my home. But yeah, I did not go ahead and ask for any charges to go ahead and be placed against him. There was no physicalness. And I just wanted him away from me at that moment, out of anger due to his infidelity.
All right. Well, if I remember, let me pull this affidavit again. So do you all have children together?
No. But trust and believe, I have no fear or nothing of him.
Well, I mean, Michael, I guess this is on Mr. Barrett, I guess, at this point. All right, Mr. Barrett.
Yes, Your Honor.
In your case, we're going to set your bond in the amount of $1,500. Condition your bond to have no hostile contact with Ms. Joseph. All right, so no hostile contact means this. I don't know if you want to continue a relationship with Ms. Joseph. I don't know, you guys have been on and off based on this for 10 years. But however, if you want to continue a relationship with her or continue to have contact with her, is that you are to have no hostile contact with her. That means no, if you guys have an argument, disagreement, or somebody cheating on who or whatever is going on, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. There can be no abusive language used. I suggest you don't use the tactic that you use in this case to get attention from her because, ended up with you getting arrested. You're getting arrested again for this case. It's going to result in you staying here at the Orange County Jail with no bond status as it relates to this case. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release, and you may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I looked at what's going on in your case in 2018, CF 10448AO. Things the case is up on a state appeal, so I'm not going to take any action as it relates to that case. But
who the hell is
Ashley? Want to come in front of me again?
Say again?
May not want to come in front of me again. All right. Yes, ma'am. You need anything else?
Oh, no, I just want to know who the Ashley person was that put something on him, too. Cheating.
Well, yep. See, once again, he may want to avoid Miss Joseph. Sounds like it. All right. Killing me up here, man. Hard. They asked for. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Khalil Britto.
Mr. Britto, you're here in case 2021 6692AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case and did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Madison McKinley. Last name McKinley.
And can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. All right, man. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Britto?
He's my husband.
All right. And you guys legally married?
Yes, sir.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes, sir. We are married.
Well, that necessarily doesn't mean you want to have contact with him.
Oh, I do.
All right.
This is actually a misunderstanding. I let the officers know that was not pressing any charges. I wasn't going to prosecute or testify. And they said that since they were out, they had to arrest somebody, so.
Usually what happens in domestic violence calls. All right, well, next question. Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
Never, Your Honor.
And did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
I do not, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
I don't, Your Honor. However, I would ask for non-hostile contact, given the lack of criminal history, Your Honor, and the victim's testimony here today.
Well, I think the facts of the case kind of, lean towards that direction. All right, Mr. Brito, in this case, is going to set your bond amount $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no hostile contact with your wife. No hostile contact means this. You can have disagreements with her. You can have this arguments with her. If she's not taking her medication, you may want to stay away from her. I'm just letting you know, because if you get arrested in an incident like this, you're going to be staying here on no bond for violating my court orders. You understand that?
Sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day.
May he return to Georgia, Your Honor?
Sorry, you're allowed to return back to the state of Georgia as part of your pretrial release. Usually you have to make you stay in the state of Florida, but I'm allowing you to return to Georgia. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right, have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Franklin Carter.
Mr. Carter, you're here in case 2021 MM6735AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. State, was this the same victim in this previous case?
Yes, Your Honor, 19, 20, and 21, all the same victim.
All right, Mr. Carter, going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You're going to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Ms. Carter, I'm not sure in these previous cases if you had the opportunity to take a batter's intervention course, or if you did and completed one, you may want to take a refresher. All right, have a great day. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Ethelya.
What's your full name?
Ethelya Kiara Riccello.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 MM6731AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount $250. Going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. If you have a shared residence, I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
No.
All right, you have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, you as well.
One, sir, can you tell me your name?
Steph Guzman.
Mr. Guzman, you're here in case 2021's MM6681AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest.
Thanks, sir.
Great. Right, he doesn't qualify, Ms. Davis, correct? All right, Mr. Guzman, in this case, going to set your bond amount of $2,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Now, Mr. Guzman, if you're going back to New York, my orders still work in New York. So don't violate my orders. It's a long bus ride from New York back down here to Florida. All right?
Yes.
Have a great day.
Understood. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Dwayne Lewis Harris.
Say your name again.
Dwayne Lewis Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're here in case 2021 MM622AW on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. Addition that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You're also not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. All right, you have a great day, sir. All right, yeah. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Dante Henson.
Mr. Henson, you're here in case 2021 MM6738AO on charge of violation of a domestic violence injunction. You reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. You'll set your bond in this case amount $10,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim. You complied with the injunction in 2021 DR 11222AO. And you do not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. It's yeah. Well, the injunction's back here. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Diamond Martin.
Ms. Martin, you're here in case 2021 MM6710AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations in your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, you have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Angel Morales.
Mr. Morales, you're here in case 2021 MM218AE on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. State, was this previous case involving the same victim?
I started looking, Your Honor. I was at least able to find 2 other cases from this year with the same victim.
All right. All right, Mr. Morales is going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,000, conditioning your bond that you had no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. All right, want to talk, one point of public defender represents you. Have you talked to Ms. George? Because everything you asked me is on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not sure if you had an opportunity to complete a barriers intervention course during your last domestic violence case, but you may want to take a refresher if you did not. All right, you have a great day. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Colina Smythe.
Ma'am, we're here in case 2021 MM6737AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. 1 second.
It's already up.
Ma'am, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. Condition your bond. You have no contact with the victim in this case.
2 days ago.
That you, hold on. All right, give you a chance to talk to Mr. George.
Okay.
I don't know, I mean, she seems like she wants to counsel with you, so.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, no contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order, ma'am?
No, I don't have questions about that.
All right. You have a great day, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm trying to defend myself and he come to my residence. Well, you know, that's not fair.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Tanisha Webb.
Ms. Webb, you're here in case 2021 MM6736AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order?
How do I arrange that? As far as,
Contacting
like,
law enforcement?
a specific day and time? It can be, I guess, whenever I so choose, or is there a
No,
specific
it's going to
day?
be whatever day, it's going to be whatever time that law enforcement chooses for you to get your stuff.
And then how is that coordinated? Do I get additional information about that?
No, you get to talk to pretrial release. You have a pretrial release officer. You can lean on them, lean with your attorney, call a non-emergency number, tell them this is what you need to get done, and they'll give you a time to meet them to go to the location.
Okay, will I be able to bond out today?
You'll be able to bond out today, yes, but whether you'll be able to get your stuff today, I don't know.
As far as at the residences?
Yeah, I don't know when that's going to happen. That's up to, I don't know if that's in sheriff's office or OPD or wherever it is.
And last question, are they aware of that no contact as well, or does that
Yep.
only apply to myself?
The no contact order is a one-way street. So it's on your obligations. The law enforcement is gonna be aware of it because they run your name. They're gonna say, no, they're gonna be alert telling them that you're not to have contact with a certain person and not to go to a certain location. Now, it's on you to abide by that condition. Now, so it's a one-way street. People ask me like, what about the other person? I don't have any jurisdiction over the other person. I only have a jurisdiction over you. So I can tell you what to do. So I'm telling you not to have any contact.
Got it.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jamal Bridges.
Mr. Bridges, you're here in case 2021 CF 2545 from Lake County. The judge in Lake County signed a warrant for your arrest, setting your bond in count 1 and 2 in the amount of $15,000. Count 3, $5,000. And counts 4, 5, and 6 in the amount of $2,000 each. If your bonds can remain as set into that amount, you can bond out or you'll be transported to Lake County. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you while you're here in my custody. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Christopher Haynes.
Mr. Haynes, you're here in a 2 Seminole County violation of probation warrants. The first one, 2020 CF 1528. Another one, 2019 CF 164. Those bonds are set at no bond. Your bonds remain at no bond till we get you over to Seminole County. We're going to appoint the public defender while you're here in my custody. You have a great day, sir.
Excuse me, sir. May you please, could I please get a writ?
Wait, want to talk to your attorney before you talk to me. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ron Fillmore.
Mr. Fillmore, you're here in a Seminole County case 2021 CF 2303 AO. The judge in that case set your bond at no bond as to the warrant in that case. Condition that you be subject to the GPS tracking and that you have no weapons or firearms, and weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And you have no contact with the victim in that case. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you until we get you over to Seminole County. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Eric Michael Ganesh.
Mr. Ganesh, you're here in case 2018 CF 12449 AO on a violation of probation warrant. Judge signed your warrant in that case, set your bond at no bond. Your bonds remain at no bond. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Hector Wilson Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, you're here in case 2020 CF 7354 AO on a violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in this case, set your bond at no bond. Your bond is going to remain at no bond as to this case. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Do you know when my court date will be?
Next Tuesday or Thursday? Yeah, next Tuesday or Thursday, you'll see Judge Lattimore 2 courtrooms down.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Have a great day, sir.
To get more information, just ask.
Well, call the number on the sheet of paper. Contact your attorney, but you should be taking the court next, Tuesday or Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Phillip Scarfo.
Scarfo, you're here in case 2019 CF 5754 for a violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in this case, set your bond at no bond. You're a violent felony offender, special concern, sir. You're not going to be entitled to release or bail or bond on this case until your violation of probation is completed. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Yeah, take your papers. Step out.
I have somebody else in the audience. Want to hear from me? Okay. All right. Want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. All right. State, you have anything?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Davis, did I miss anything? All right. Sunshine? All right, no, good. All right, we'll be in recess. All right, I'll give you guys an option. We can, I don't know how prepared you guys are for this afternoon, or you guys have done anything yet? I'm asking, I don't know.
I haven't looked, Your Honor.
Okay, all right then. We will reset, we will be back at 1:30, have a meeting I have to be in. All right. I'll just see if you guys want to come back like at 11, to do some of the afternoon, and then we'll.
I'm okay with that.
I am too, Your Honor. That's fine.
Yeah, I should be able to get Ms. George some offers.
Okay,
I already have the arraignments. It's just the pleables.
all right. You guys want to start back up at 11 to start some of the afternoon, and then I have to break at 11, like 11:45-ish. So we can get like probably a good amount of some stuff done. It's up to you. Otherwise, I gotta come back at 1:30.
That's fine.
I
So we
don't,
start back up at 11?
If you want to. Otherwise, we can come back at 1:30 and I'll just knock it all out at one shot.
I haven't checked anything, so I mean.
Say again?
1:30 is fine.
All right. There we go. Yep. All right, good morning, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Bruce Francis Bland.
You gotta step up first. Thank you.
Bruce Francis Bland.
Mr. Bland, you're here in case 2021 CT 5687 AO on a charge of driver license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You're represented by the Public Defender's Office. Ms. George, is there a plea you want to enter on behalf of your client?
Yes, no contest, Your Honor.
Mr. Bland, do you want to raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're here for that charge of driver license suspended. Again, it's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. George telling you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What's the agreed resolution?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt credit time, sir.
All right. Mr. Bland, do you understand that adjudication of guilt in this case can be used against you at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you have the opportunity to review the plea form and all the rights you're going to waive?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
Did the party stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to accept that as factual basis for your purposes of entering of your plea. I'm going to go find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty as to the charge. I'm going to give you credit for the 42 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 42 days credit time served. Court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $306. There's a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. I'll give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Crespo is medical.
This is 2021 CT 5909 AO. Mr. Crespo is represented by the Public Defender's Office.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right.
Division 83 pretrial conference is October 4th, 8:30 a.m., courtroom 6C.
Harley Ford is medical.
This is also 2021 CT 5713 AO. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Horton.
I'll waive the appearance and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 85, pretrial conference, October 4th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Is he only medical because he was in the Osceola County Jail and then came here?
He's restricted, Your Honor.
Is anybody, well, I appoint a public defender to represent him if he wants to resolve his case. You can probably do that relatively quickly with the virtual platforms we have. Because he looks like he's bonded out on this case, so not sure. I don't know, is this correct? I don't know, because like somebody posted a bond for him, but then why is he still here? I don't know.
Okay.
All right. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Luis Anthony Robles.
Mr. Robles, you're here in case 2021 CT 5718 on a charge of driving while license suspended. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. George, what plea you want to enter on behalf of Mr. Robles?
No contest, Your Honor. The state's offering an adjudication of guilt credit time served.
Mr. Robles, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand down, sir. Sir, you're here in case 2021 CT 5718 AO on a charge of driving license suspended. Again, that's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Ms. George is telling me that you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand why entering a plea of no contest on this charge can result in a later date if you're arrested for another driver license suspended charge, that you're being convicted as a third-degree felony? Do you understand that?
I understand.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to review a plea form and all the rights that you're going to waive by entering this plea?
Can you
The plea form. Did you have an opportunity to review the plea form that's in front of you and all the rights you're going to waive?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand why entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
I'm a citizen.
All right. Do the parties stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Based on that stipulation, the court is going to find a factual basis, going to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. You will be credited for the 40 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 40 days credit time served. The court cost of prosecution in this case of $306. I'm going to give you, you have a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. I'm going to give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Ida Bell, Unit Fuse Court.
All right, this is case 2021 MM 5921 AO. Ms. George, what would you like to do with your client's case? Want to roll it to Monday?
Yeah, can we try, Your Honor? Because there's an offer.
Yep. Let's reset our case to Monday for arraignment. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Sean Brown.
Mr. Brown, you're here in case 2021 MM 6651 AO on a charge of petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Ms. George, what plea you want to enter on behalf of your client as to this case?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, I'm going to accept your plea of not guilty as to this case. It's going to set you for Division 82 for pretrial and trial on the following dates.
October 18th at 10:30 a.m., courtroom 10B.
All right, you have a great day, Mr. Brown. and Ms. George.
Never mind, I probably met that on another one.
The one before.
Probably.
I just want to make sure.
Ms. George.
Yes, sir.
If, like, you have a client that, you know, that's going, you're going to enter a plea of not guilty on, you can just file a waiver, and that way they don't have to sit, they don't have to, you know, sit all day back there waiting on us to call them in the
Yes, Your
afternoon,
Honor.
especially. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? What's your last name, sir?
Doctor.
All right, Mr. Dockman, you're here in case 2021 MM 5718 AO on charge of trespass and occupied structure, refusal to leave. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that? Do you understand those are the maximum penalties for those charges you're facing?
I guess, but she was saying I could get time served.
Yep, those are the maximum penalties. So if you come to an agreement with the state of Florida, that's fine. But I have to inform you what the maximum penalties are as part of your arraignment. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
All right, and Ms. George, what plea do you want to enter or have for Mr. Dockman?
No contest, Your Honor. The state's offering an adjudication of guilt and credit time served.
All right. Mr. Dockman, if you could raise your right hand the best you can, you sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You put your hand down. Sir, again, you're here in that case for trespass in an occupied structure, refusal to leave. Is a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalties for that charge are 1 year in the county jail, 1 year probation, and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that? You gotta say yes or no. The court reporter doesn't understand. All right. And Ms. Georgia says you want to enter a plea of no contest to this charge. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you have an opportunity to view a plea form? Do you understand all the rights that you're going to waive by entering a plea in this case?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
Oh, hell no. I'm sorry, no.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
I think I was diagnosed with something known as Asperger.
Okay. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea? Right. Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
No, I was born in the States.
Okay. Does the party stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, based on that stipulation, the court is going to find a factual basis for the entry of your plea, accepts your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge and give you credit for the 39 days in the Orange County Jail with 39 days credit time served. Court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $273. There's a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. I'll give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. There's 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, Mr. Dockman.
Your Honor,
Yes.
there's also a cost of investigation of $190.59 to OPD.
59 cents?
Yes, 59 cents.
And that was agreed? That was part of the plea agreement?
I believe so, Your Honor.
I put the wrong amount.
Yeah, I didn't.
All right. All right, so Mr. Dockman, there's a cost of investigation of $190.59 to the Orlando Police Department. Is going to be a part of their assessment in this case. I'm going to still give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk. You have a great day, sir. Yes, sir.
Where you at, sir?
You got me to move the microphone down because I can barely. I have this vent is super loud in the afternoon.
Yeah. You said to be $190.50?
Well, there's $190.50 to the Orlando Police Department. There's $273 in court costs and costs of prosecution. There's $50 for the public defender, for your attorney, for a lien. And then there's $50 for the application you filled out for their services. All those are statutory fees that are assessed other than the cost of investigation, which you agreed to. So if you don't want to pay the $190, then you have the right to have a cost of investigation hearing if you would like.
What do I have to pay, if anything at all?
The total, oh, I'm not, bring up my calculator, sorry. I was downtown, I had a calculator up here. So there's 273.
On the clip.
And plus the 190.50, correct? 59, sorry. So it's $563.59 is the total in that case.
It's hard to pay.
That's what you owe in this particular case. If you need more time, this is like quite a little more than I thought it was gonna be. I'll give you 3 years to make that happen. All right. You have a great day, sir.
How long do I have till I have to pay? What's the time?
3 years.
I have 3 years to pay?
Yeah, 3 years.
Okay.
I don't try to make it unbearable. I'm not MasterCard or Visa or anything like that up here. All right. All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Denise Jenkins.
Ms. Jenkins, you're here in case 2020 MM528AW on charge of petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Was there a offer discussed with Ms. Jenkins?
There was an offer, Your Honor, it's showing that she's on I was showing that she was on probation. Ms. Jenkins just stated that she was sentenced to DOC time, so I'm not.
I wasn't on probation for this.
Yeah, this is a year ago, so I'm not sure if you were on probation at the time this offense happened.
What I
or
was
not.
already doing, but they said they had already took care of all of this. That when I went to court Monday, they sentenced me for both of them, 20 months in the Department of Corrections.
Well, you couldn't get 20 months for this case.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying, but I'll take the 60 days if it's gonna run concurrent where I can dissolve it, where I can go on with nothing.
Okay, let me see here.
I'm just not sure she's on probation, that this will violate her.
No, I'm not on anything now. They terminated my probation and I was sentenced to
George?
20 months DOC.
Sorry, Ms. Davis.
Year and a day on one case and 20 months
it
on
up,
another one, ran concurrent. I'm no longer on probation for anything. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it does say on September the 20th, her community control was revoked. She was sentenced to 366 days in the Florida Department of Corrections.
Yeah, well, she couldn't, so her probation is done. I guess I have more, I'm looking at the case. This looks like a summons case
Yeah, they delivered
where
it.
I don't have a record of the summons being served.
Yes, I got it 2 days ago. It was
Okay.
served to me 2 days ago, hand delivered.
All right,
And, I'm sorry, did you appoint us, Your Honor? I'm not sure.
I can, I was trying to see if she wanted that to happen. You
I
know,
wanted
it's
to
extra
resolve it today,
$100.
so I
She
can,
just wants to resolve it.
I want to.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's extra $100. I was just trying to save her the $100, but.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, but she's already gonna do the DOC time and stuff like that. She's already did what she's gotta do, then I was just gonna save a little extra. The felony court fees are somewhere about $1,000, so. All right, ma'am, Ms. Jenkins, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're gonna give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Can you tell me all things was done?
okay.
I was in jail.
Looks like the state has the notice of filing, I'm sorry. I see the summons.
Okay, but if it's after that, then it couldn't.
Or the return to summons. All right. Ma'am, you're here in case 2020 MM528AW on charge of petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, and did you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case today?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that this charge at a later date can be used against you to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony if you're picked up for another petty theft?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you in this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen and could subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
And the plea offer was an adjudication of guilt,
Verdict time served, no return to the Walmart at West Colonial Drive.
right?
And
I don't think she has any, 1 day credit time served? Because it's
Adjudication of guilt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Credit time served.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you don't return to the Walmart that's on Colonial Drive.
All right, ma'am.
Your Honor, I apologize. There's also a cost of investigation.
Yep.
$91.16.
16 cents?
Yes, 1/6.
To who, where are we going, where's that going to?
Ocoee PD.
All right.
Your Honor, she wanted, I can't pull it up. She wanted to know, what.
She just told me.
Oh, she told you the date.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Hold on. Give me 1 second here. All right, I did have an opportunity to review a court file in this case. Did find a factual basis contained therein. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'm going to give you credit for 1 day in the Orange County Jail with 1 day credit time served. Court costs in this case, the cost of prosecution are $273. There's a cost of investigation of $91.16 to OPD, you said Ocoee? Ocoee Police Department. Again, when are you scheduled to be released from the Department of Corrections?
May, third week of May or June, first week of June, somewhere around there.
All right, I'm gonna give you 3 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You have Deshaun Jones.
Yes, sir.
Medical.
All right, this case 2021 MM 614780. He's a public defender client.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty.
All right, we're 7 for Division 63.
Pretrial conference, October 28th at 1 p.m., courtroom 12C.
All right, it's 2021 MM 6606. AO, can you tell me your name, sir?
Victor Rodriguez?
Mr. Victor Rodriguez, you're here on charge of resisting officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. State was an offer to resolve Mr. Rodriguez's case.
Adjudication of guilt and credit time served.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, the state offer from the state of Florida is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and an offer you want to accept today.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir.
Your Honor, I think he was represented by regional counsel. Sorry. I hate this thing.
It says no attorney on here, so.
I just want to make sure.
Oh. Let me see something.
That was the note in my system, so I just wanted to make sure.
Well, that's something. Let me pull it up here. Looks like the motion withdrawal was filed, but never granted.
Okay.
By Judge Bigney. All right, so Mr. Rodriguez, looks like the public defender was appointed at in your felony case when you had one, but it looks like they have a conflict in representing you. They filed a motion to withdraw from your case, from the representation in that case.
Yes.
But Judge Bigney hasn't been called up for hearing, and so it hasn't been granted. So I guess the question I have for Ms. George, do you feel comfortable resolving the case right now with him as his attorney, or do you want to?
No, I'll resolve it, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm sorry, so Ms. George, what plea do you want to have enter on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez?
No contest, Your Honor. And the offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served.
Yep. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you there? You have an opportunity to read the plea form?
Excuse me?
Have you had the opportunity to read this plea form before?
Yes.
All right, do you understand you're waiving all the rights that are on the plea form, and if you want to enter this plea of no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
Yes.
No, it's okay. I'm going back to the felony case. Looks like regional conflict was appointed, but then they filed a secondary motion to withdraw in the misdemeanor case. So, Mr. Rodriguez, look, looks like regional conflict is appointed to represent you, which is like a secondary public defender for people when the public defender's office has a conflict of interest. Do you want to proceed with this plea? Because you're actually entitled to representation, but it's going to take me a little minute to find out who your attorney is and get them on the phone.
Proceed.
All right. All right, sir. All right. Is anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Does somebody enter this plea if you're not a United States citizen and could subject you to deportation?
Excuse me?
If you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation based on this plea.
Yes.
All right. I did have an opportunity to review a court file in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. I want to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge, give you credit for the 46 days in Orange County Jail with 46 days credit time served. Court calls the cost of prosecution in this case are $273. There's a $50, I guess, regional conflict counsel fees since they're actually appointed, and a $50 public defender application fee. I'm going to give you 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, you have a great day, sir.
Thank you likewise.
Yeah, I did. $273 court cost of prosecution, $50 public defender. Oh, 2 years, I'm sorry. Apologize. They said that I give the fees. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Larry Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here in case 2021 MM6083 AO on a charge of resisting officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Ms. George, what plea do you want to enter on behalf of your client?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, I'm going to accept your plea of not guilty. I'm going to set you for pretrial and trial in Division 62 on the following days.
Yes, Judge Gibson.
Pre-trial conference will be October 18th, 9 a.m., courtroom 9B.
You have a great day, sir.
What is that? And I didn't know what that meant.
Your attorney entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. So there's nothing else I can do at arraignment right now. We're going to set for trial and trial, pre-trial and trial in the front of the division judge. All right, you have a great day.
Theo White, medical.
All right, it's 2021 MM6658 AO. It's a public defender client.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, set for Division 85.
Pre-trial conference, October 4th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Brandon Wise, medical.
All right, it's 2021 MM6212 AO.
I'll waive and enter plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, and we're set for Division 85.
Pre-trial conference, October 4th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
All right, counsel, your client's name?
Michael Collins, Judge. The IA.
You know where he's felony? Felony, okay. Yep. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Michael Collins.
Mr. Collins, sorry, counsel, could you put your name on the record?
Sure, Judge. John Notary for Michael Collins.
Mr. Collins, you're here in case 2021 CF 12676 AO on a charge of attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer with a weapon and aggravated assault with a firearm. The judge signed your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. All right, and state, what are you asking I do as to the first count of this warrant?
Attempted first-degree murder on a Leo with a weapon is punishable by life, Your Honor. I would ask defendant be held no bond.
And counsel, do you have a response to the state's request?
Well, Judge, my review of, I don't know if the court has reviewed the affidavit for arrest warrant, but There is not a positive identification by the victims in this matter, and the allegations contained in the jurat portions of the arrest affidavit indicate there were 3 individuals and possibly only 2 firearms. So I submit to the court that at this point, probable cause should not be found in this matter. I'd ask the court to release him on his own recognizance without the benefit of discovery, though, Judge. I'm not sure what documents, because part of our arrest affidavit was not complete. I think the state was missing parts of theirs too. But I would ask the court to release him on his own recognizance at this point. If not, Judge, we'll certainly take it up with the circuit court.
All right. Did you have an opportunity to review the whole 9 pages?
I did, Judge.
Okay, so,
Well, there's actually-
because there's not positive identification about the victims, but it seems that somebody with a better view than them identified them as like your client and another defendant as the shooters involved in this case.
Well, it's true, Judge, but then the jurat parts, there are portions where they cite chapter, and there's the allegations put forth by law enforcement are that there are 3 alleged shooters and possibly 2 firearms.
Right. I don't know why. Part of my my computer is like cut off part of the affidavit.
There is a portion missing here, so there may be something that I have not seen.
Right. All right. All right. So I guess the real question I have is, are you asking me to hold an Arthur hearing
No, Judge.
today,
I
or
don't
just
have
asking me to use my discretion to set a bond in this case?
I understand. I don't have enough information to make a full-fledged
Okay.
Arthur hearing at this point, but I'm asking the court not to find probable cause at this time.
All right. I think based on the judge signed a warrant in this case, which is kind of, I'm not sure if I am able to disturb their probable cause determination. But even if so, my review of the warrant affidavit in this case gives enough to support the charges as far as probable cause determination, if not as your client as a shooter, but at least as a principal to possibly this crime that's happening. Which the allegations are that he was an actual shooter. So the question is whether we should set bond right now, or
I would ask the court to set a reasonable bond based on the lack of information contained in this probable cause affidavit. I would suggest that a bond of $50,000 would secure his release. He has no prior history I can tell the court my office will be representing you.
All right. I got to think back. Attempted homicide on a law enforcement officer. There's some minimum mandatories that go along with that, I believe, if I can remember correctly. I want to say 15 or something like that. Is it 50, it's 15 or 20, I think. I can't, I have to look, I have to go back and pull up my book, but I know there's some minimum mandatories attached to that charge. The additional allegations, the weapon and or firearm was used, which obviously increases that charge if they decide to charge on a 1020 life.
I asked the question, Judge, is it a PBL, otherwise entitled to a bond?
Well, attempted first degree murder with a firearm is it's much of a life offense. All right, Mr. Collins, usually I don't do this because you are extremely young, and if the allegations in this case are true, or got to be maybe not one of the smartest decisions you're probably gonna make in your life. $50,000 doesn't mean sufficient in this case. Well, so I want to set your bond in this case in amount of $200,000 in count one. $10,000 is the count two. Addition your bond, no contact with the victims in these cases, no contact with your co-defendants in these cases, no contact with the witnesses in these cases. You must not return to the scene of the location where this incident happened. I'm going to impose a curfew on you from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. You are to possess no weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right, so since this is your first time involved in this, Mr. Collins is going to give you the rundown. No contact is no contact with anybody. I'm talking about don't post anything online, no Snapchat, no Instagram direct messages, no stories, no nothing about this case. You the only person you talk to about this case is with your attorney, and that's it. If I hear that you having conversations or, trying to be the guy on the streets and stuff like that, I'm gonna put you right back in here. And you're gonna stay here on no bond status until your attorney's allowed to have the Arthur hearing where you can hope that the division judge is gonna let you out. All right?
All right. Thank you.
No, it's not a DV case, but all the things in the statute, and I'm gonna expand it just like to make it a little bit more. Is what I mean by saying no contact. That's why I said it that way. So no direct contact, no phone calls, no text messages, nothing, zero. Talk to your attorney, you go to school, you go home. You still in high school or you out?
I'm out.
All right, so you go to work, just you go get a job. May help you in this situation. And McDonald's is paying actually good money now from when I paid when I worked there. It was like $5.50. It's like $12.50 or $13, which is like just like I was like I made $5.50. I think $5.25 is what I made when I worked at McDonald's.
Back then, yeah.
And it's $13. They're paying $13, all kinds of stuff. So you may want to go back and work for them.
Yeah.
While this case is pending.
Oh, no, I'll just work for Universal instead.
Yeah, whatever. Like, go back to work. Get to work.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Spanish? All right. Well, I've got to get off of this then. Oh, I'm not sure what our...
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has already been sworn.
No, those people are, the RICO case that's all signed in where the statewide prosecutors show up, but they didn't show up. See, this is one of those on the list? All Spanish? Give me 1 second. Sorry, Madam Interpreter, give me one moment here.
Sure.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Everybody online for statewide prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, there we go. 'Cause I didn't know if anybody was there. Sorry, okay. All right. I need the headphones. Does she need the headphones? You said everybody needs Spanish, they told me. The 5 people? Yeah. No, not all together, no, just. But you don't need to put the headsets on. All right, Madam Interpreter, can you see if we can make a connection with the headsets?
There is contact, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Acosta.
Karim Acosta.
Ms. Acosta, you're here in case 2021 CF 12604AO. On the first count of your warrant is racketeering. The second count is directing or transporting for the purpose of prostitution or lewdness. And Madam Statewide, can you put your name on the record one more time?
Yeah, Mary Salmon with the Office of Statewide Prosecution.
Yes,
La pregunta es, perdón.
Was there anything, her bonds are on a warrant of 50,000 and 5,000. Was there anything else I need to know before moving forward? I was gonna say her bonds, but is there anything else I need to know about release conditions?
Your Honor, the state would ask that if the defendant does have a passport, that it be surrendered before posting bond.
All right. All right, man, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. I'm going to state your bonds as set on your warrant, amount of $50,000 in count 1 and $5,000 as a count 2. You have no contact with any possible victims or co-defendants or witnesses in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And if you are in possession of a passport, it must be turned over to the clerk before you are released in this case. All right, you have a great day, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Leopoldo Cruz.
Leopoldo Cruz.
Yeah.
Cruz. Mr. Cruz, you're here in case 2021 CF 12608AO. On the first count of your warrant is racketeering. The second count is conspiracy to commit racketeering. And the third count is unlawful use of a two-way communication device. The judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bonds in this case in count one, an amount of $50,000, count two, $50,000, count three, $5,000. Condition, no contact with any witness or victims in these cases, no contact with any co-defendants in this case. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. If you do have a, Madam Statewide, are you asking for the passports for all the cases?
Yes, Judge.
I want to make a condition of your bond that if you do are in possession of a passport, that be turned over to the clerk prior to your release.
Yo tengo el pasaporte, pero en mi casa.
I have a passport, but it's in my house.
All right. Well, whoever bonds you out is going to have to bring that to the jail to get you out of here, or to the court at a bond hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. You also have an open case. Looks like in 2021 CT 750AA. Say was an offer to resolve this no valid driver's license case.
No, Your Honor.
Sí.
All right, sir, you're out on bond in that case. The court finding probable cause that you committed a new law offense in that case is going to revoke that bond. Going to set a new bond in that case amount of $2,000. Issue your bond that you not operate a motor vehicle by a valid driver's license. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in that case as well.
Pero
no, great day, sir.
No fue culpa mía de que yo no fuera hoy a la corte porque caí arrestado. Yo tenía que ir hoy a la corte.
Well, you say it wasn't my fault that I was not able to go to court today because I got arrested, so it wasn't my fault.
I'm not sure what fault you're referring to, but you shouldn't talk about the facts of your case because you're being recorded and everything is you can say can be used against you in a court of law. I'm going to tell you to have a great day and talk to your attorney about any other matters you have in this case.
Okay, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Eury Antonio Jimenez Valerio.
Eury Antonio Jimenez Valerio.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12602AO on a charge of racketeering in count one, conspiracy to commit racketeering in count two, and unlawful communication of two-way communication device. Judge signing your warrant in this case already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond. Your bond will stay your bond in count one, amount of $50,000. Count two, $50,000, and count three, $5,000. Addition to bond, you have no contact with the victim in this case. That you have no contact with any witnesses and no contact with your co-defendants in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release, as well as you are not allowed to, so you must turn over, if you are in possession of a passport, you must turn that over to the clerk prior to your release. All right. You have a great day, sir. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Roberto Oviedo Rodríguez.
Roberto Oviedo Rodriguez.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12596AO on charge of racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bonds in your warrant amount of $50,000 on count 1 and 2 respectively. And count 3 is $5,000. Condition on your bonds that you have no contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants in this case. That you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be thrown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And if you are in possession of a passport, that needs to be turned over to the clerk prior to your release in this case. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
He did have a immigration
Gracias.
retainer added on him.
Looks like somebody from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement wants to talk to you. You may have to talk to them before being released on this case. If you're going to be in my audience, you got to cover your face. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
José Mercedes Toribio Esteves.
Jose Mercedes Toribio Esteves.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12603AO on charge of racketeering in count 1. Count 2 is conspiracy to commit racketeering. Count 3 is unlawful use of a two-way communication device. The judge signing a warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bond in count 1 and 2 in the amount of $50,000 respectively. In count 3, $5,000. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants in this case. That you not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case, as well as if you are in possession of a passport, you need to make sure that passport is turned over to the clerk prior to your release in this case. You have a great day, sir. I think that was my last statewide case, and was that my last Spanish case?
Yes.
That was everybody? All right. Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name's Mutha Elvis.
Who's this? Next person I had was Dryer. This is, say your name again?
Mutha Elvis.
Mutha Elvis.
Move up.
Oh, move up, okay. I didn't, sorry. Apologize. All right. Mr. is it Mandufa? Say it again, say it again. I want to mess it up. I want to say it right.
Okay.
Mutha?
The M is kind of silent.
Okay.
So, Mutha Elvis.
Mutha. Mutha, okay. You are here in case 2021 CF 11877AO on a warrant signed by a judge for the following charges: battery on a uniform or licensed security officer, trespass on property after warning, and resisting officer without violence. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in an amount of $1,000, count 2, $100, and count 3, $100. Condition of bond: no return to the scene of location, no contact with any victims or witnesses. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Yeah, Your Honor, I just had something real quick to say. Your Honor, I have injuries.
Yes.
Some major injuries on my leg, and I was requesting a leniency from the court because I was admitted in a.
Well, yeah, I set your bonds. You have 5 failures to appear, a lot of criminal history. I don't think I can really set your bonds any lower than that.
I don't have no money, none whatsoever right now, and
Yep.
I have to go back to the hospital and see Dr. Shah in Orlando Health. So I was just asking for leniency because I have to go back for surgery.
Yep.
And just asking if you could get ROR me, please.
I can't, as I said, like you have 5 failures to appear, sir. You have.
And
I want to say you have 5 failures to appear. The most recent one was last year in June. You have 4 felonies, 11 misdemeanor, and 14 other arrests or other criminal convictions. I don't think you're a good candidate for ROR at this point. So, but you have a division judge that may feel differently.
Yeah.
So, but as for me right now, looking at that, I don't feel like under the statute I can release you on your own recognizance.
They actually asked me to ask because I have to be there like as soon as possible.
All right. So if you can't get out, it's just you talk to the medical staff here as quickly as possible. You put in for an appointment to speak with them about whatever's going on with you medically, okay?
Yes, sir.
Want to appoint a public defender so you have an advocate in this case. All right, so you have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Susan Furbs.
Ma'am, we're here in case 2021 CF 1263580 on charge of aggravated assault, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $3,000, count 2 in the amount of $150, and count 3 in the amount of $100. Condition of the bond: no contact with the victim, no return to the scene of the location, no contact with any witnesses in this case. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Ma'am, you're out on bond in case 2021 CF 6111AO. In that case, the court finding probable cause that you committed a new law offense in this case is going to set bond in the amount, revoke that bond, set bond amount of $0. I think you're already represented by the public defender's office in that case. You have a great day, ma'am.
My dog is Pruitt, it's medical.
All right. This 2021 MM6732AO. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Pruitt.
I'm waiting here, John.
All right, court did review the charging affidavits for the charges of trespass on property trespass on property after warning. Going to set his bond in amount of $100. Condition of the bond: no return to the scene of the location, and no contact with victims or witnesses. Not going to take any action on his out on bond case.
Alvarez, mental health.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me grab. All right. This 2021 CF 12656AO on charge. Mr. Alvarez here on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. I'm gonna set Mr. Alvarez's bond amount of $2,500. Condition the bond, no weapons, no firearms. The weapons or firearms he has need to return to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. No return to the scene, no contact with any victims or witnesses. For Ms. Frebs, did I say no weapons, no firearms? Frebs? Susan, I said? Okay.
You didn't.
I did not?
You did not.
All right, let's go back 1 second then. Ms. George, can you tell Ms. Frepez that she's not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms? The weapons or firearms she has when she is released in her cases need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of her release. And that's case 2021 CF 12635AO. All right.
Joseph Dyer, medical.
Mr. Dyer, case 2021 MM2220AE. Zero on charge of trespass on property other than structure or conveyance. Going to appoint the public defender to represent him.
I'm not sure if he'll be able to. I'll wait for your turn.
All right, we're going to find probable cause. Going to set his bond amount of $100. Addition to bond, no return to the scene, no contact with victims or witnesses, and not taking any action on his out on bond case. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
State your name.
Bradley Gerard Langford.
Mr. Langford, you're here in case 2021 MM6711AO on charge of trespass after warning. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Was there an offer to resolve Mr. Langford's case?
The withhold of adjudication, credit time served, no return to the Christian Service Center located at 808 West Central Boulevard.
Mr. Langford, would you like to accept the offer from the state of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served? I can't hear you.
They trespassed. I didn't.
I'm just asking, do you want to accept the offer from the state, yes or no?
No, I'm innocent.
Okay.
No, I'm fighting.
All right, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $100. Condition of your bond that you have no contact with any victims or witnesses in this case. They not return to the scene, the location.
I walk out, I'm going right back.
We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I can't. Why do you have to do that? I want to public defender represent Ms. Langford. Oh, we'll see him tomorrow then, I guess. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Matthew Schilling.
Mr. Schilling, you're here in case 2021 MM6721AO on charge of resisting officer without violence and trespass on property after warning. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Was there an offer to resolve Mr. Schilling's case?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, no return to the 7-Eleven located on Apopka Vineland Road.
All right. Mr. Schilling, did you want to take that offer from the state, withhold adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
Sure. I mean, all it takes is me not return back to that one location. That's okay.
Sorry, I can't, you gotta speak up, it's a little slower.
What is all you're asking? I don't return back to that one location?
Yep, that would probably be a bad idea, because they probably already trespassed you from that location, but, you know.
That one location is the only place I can't return back to. That is okay with me.
All right. Did you want to take the offer, though, is the question, is real. The offer is a withhold of adjudication of guilt. Let's give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. There's court costs and costs of prosecution in this case, amount of $273 is going to be assessed in this case. Did you want to accept that offer from the state?
Yes. I don't know. I'm not from a
Right.
law background, correct?
All right. Did you have opportunity, you're looking at the plea form, did you have
It's a lot to read and a lot to take in all at one time.
Well,
I mean, y'all, like, this is something that y'all kind of.
if you want to have time to think about it, there's no pressure.
Yeah, no, I don't know, like, I don't know, is there something else?
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
One thing, let me look at one thing, Mr. Schilling.
was told at one point by the sheriff previous night that I'm actually allowed to be in that location.
So I can set you a bond. You don't have to resolve your case today. It's fine. You can resolve it later on. So nobody's, no one's, say again?
Owe any money? I mean, I don't.
You will owe $273 and
And what's the time frame on that? How will I pay that?
usually give you a year to pay that to the clerk.
I already paid that with my time served.
No, I'm going to give you time served, the $273 or statutory court costs and fine, court cost of prosecution.
But if I was
So-
wrongfully arrested and brought in to begin with,
Then you should go to trial. If you feel like you're wrongfully arrested, we have trials to deal with that. So it's completely up to you.
but I don't know how the process works. I mean,
That's how,
from the
if I gave you an attorney,
educational
I want to give you an attorney.
background, so.
Listen. I want to give you an attorney. You should lean on their representation, and because they went to law school, they know the rules of evidence and court proceedings. And if you want a trial in this case, have one. I mean, that's what our country is designed
My
for.
concern is I don't mind like kind of putting this on like having this taken care of today. I don't mind that, correct? But I don't have $273 to pay because
I want to give you 1 year to make that payment. So that's
But what if I can like?
less than $15 a month, I think.
What if I mean I can't? I'm having difficulty finding work here in Orlando to begin with as an engineer and scientist. I'm having a very terrible time. I was
Finding work as,
Well, I found work. That wasn't the problem, but like finding a way to I was told to go collect a paycheck somewhere, and I was told that they got put on remote work, and that I wasn't able to collect the paycheck, and then I had to call HR. It was a nightmare. And I
Okay.
haven't been able to collect pay. So if I can't collect pay for the last 3 or 4 months of my work, how can I even pay the $273 to the court to pay for? I shouldn't have been even in this situation to begin with if I would have collected my paycheck.
okay.
So I'm not too sure, I don't mind taking care of.
Well, I got another question for you that may help you out.
Create more.
Do you have a place you're going to stay?
Waste more of your
Do you have an address or a place where you collect mail?
Currently, no.
All right.
No, I mean,
Do you have a cell phone by any chance?
it's in my vehicle, which I have no clue where it's at. It was
All right.
towed, it was impounded, so I
Okay.
have no access to the phone, I have no access to my computer.
I'll do this. I want to set your bond in each case in the amount of each charge in the amount of $100. Additionally, your bond, not return to the scene of the location, don't have any contact with any victims or witnesses. You can talk to your attorney, call that number on a sheet of paper when you do have access to a phone. And that way you can get in contact with your attorney. They can walk you through the process. If you decide you want a trial and you feel like you were wrongfully arrested, that is the great thing about our system, that you actually have an opportunity to fight charges against you. So have a great day, sir.
I'm not gonna fight too hard because I don't know where I'll end up, so, thank you.
All right, have a great day. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Carlos Raymond Segura Torres.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM6734AO on a charge of trespass on property after warning. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Was there an offer to resolve this case?
Adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Walmart located at 4520 Cimarron Boulevard.
All right. Sir, did you want to accept that offer from the state of Florida of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Sir, the charge of trespass on property after warning is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to hear a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case?
No contest.
You understand by airing a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined in the plea form that's in front of you. I can't hear you.
Yes.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
Yes, I understand.
Did I opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case, so I did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to adjudicate you guilty as to the charge. Going to give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court cost of prosecution in this case are $273. I'm gonna give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Robert R.C.
Mr. R.C., you're here in case 2021 MO1091AO on charge of open container. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Just like on Monday, the state city is offering a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. Did you want to accept that offer from the city?
Yes, Judge, I plead no contest.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in that case for open container, second-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You told me you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're waiving all the rights entered on the plea form in front of you.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, I'm a citizen.
All right, Mr. R.C., I did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find factual basis for the entering of your plea, going to accept your plea of no contest. Find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, going to withhold adjudication of guilt, going to give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs in this case are $223. Give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, Mr. R.C.
Thank you.
You're starting to see each other a little too much.
Yes, I know.
You're going to have to buy me lunch or something. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Manuel Bartholomew Strickland.
Mr. Strickland, you're here in case 2021 MO1092AO, charges disorderly conduct and a violation of a state misdemeanor, but I remember what it was. We have for resisting officer without violence and trespass. Did find probable cause for your arrest as to those charges. I believe the city of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs to resolve these two charges. Is that something you want to do today?
You mentioned time served?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is something I want to do.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, these two charges you're facing are second-degree misdemeanors. They're punishable up to 60 days in the county jail each and $500 fine each. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you want to enter pleas of guilty or no contest to resolve these charges?
Yes.
Guilty or no contest?
Oh,
No contest.
I plead no contest.
All right. Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you?
Oh, I understand what this is.
Say again?
I understand what this is.
Yeah, do you understand you're waiving all the rights, like the right to have a trial, right to challenge the state's evidence, call witnesses on your behalf, those kind of things. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation in this case.
Yes, I understand.
Did have opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case. Did find a factual basis contained therein. I'm willing to accept your plea of no contest. Find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt. I'm going to give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail on each count running concurrent. Court costs in this case are $223 in this case. We'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ontario Demetrius Terry.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MO1093AO on charge of possession of open container in a park or public place.
Yes, sir.
Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. The city of Orlando is offering a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs to resolve this case. Do you want to do that?
Sir, I didn't understand you.
The city of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. Do you want to do that? You want to enter that plea?
I don't understand it.
Oh, what a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs is? The court's going to withhold adjudication of guilt, give you credit for the 2 days you spent in Orange County Jail. This court costs amount of $223.
Is that like time, sir?
That's what it says.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And you put your hand down, sir. Sir, in this case, the charge of possession of open container in a public park or place is a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
No,
Maximum penalty, 60 days county jail, $500 fine.
I'm having difficulty kind of keeping up with you, sir.
All right, the maximum penalties for this charge, you understand what the maximum, we might want to say maximum, right?
Right.
Are 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine, 6 months of probation. You understand those are maximum penalties?
Okay.
That's not what your offer is, but I got to make sure you understand what the maximum is, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
No contest.
You understand? By entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that you reviewed in front of you. Like the right to have a trial, the right to call witnesses on your behalf, challenge the state's evidence, challenge the state's witnesses. You understand? You're waiving all those rights.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you into this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to view your charging affidavit in this case. Did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. Going to accept your plea of no contest. Find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to withhold adjudication of guilt. I'm going to give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs in this case are $223. You have 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, Mr. Jordan.
So Jordan, you're here in case 2021 CT 6471AO on the charge of driving under influence with property damage or personal injury. You're also here in case 2021 CT 6472AO on charge of no valid driver's license. They reviewed the charging affidavits in these cases. Did find a probable cause for your arrest. Let's set your bond in 6471 in amount of $1,000, and 6472 gonna set your bond amount of $100. Condition of bond in both cases: no drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. May not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Be subject to random drug testing in this case. Random drug and alcohol testing. I'm sorry. In this case, or these cases, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Drug and alcohol testing in both cases. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Dustin Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, you're here in case 2021 CF 965AE on charge of driving under influence with a blood alcohol level of 0.15 or higher, and 2021 CT 966AE on charge of driver license suspended. They reviewed the charging affidavit in both these cases, did find factual probable cause for your arrest. As to your DUI 965AE, I'm going to set your bond amount of $1,000. And in 966AE, I'm going to set your bond amount of $500. Condition of the bonds are the same. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. You may not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license in both cases. You're out on bond or pretrial diversion in 2019 CT 1352AW or another DUI. Of course, going to revoke your bond or PTR, whatever kind of release you're on in that case, and set a new bond at $0 in that matter. I believe you have Mr. Oshesky representing you on your old case. We'll appoint a public defender to represent you on your new case. You all right? You have a great day.
Going that way.
Sapp? All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Chastity Sapp.
Ms. Sapp, you're here in case 2021 CT 6473AO on charge of driver license suspended. 2021 CT 6474AO on charge of no motor vehicle registration. Was an offer conveyed for both these cases?
There was, Your Honor, but I don't see any type of history, and I know they have the new program for driving offenses.
Let's see what else we got here.
I'm not sure if she would qualify.
Is there a reason Ms. Sapp wasn't released on ROR or?
She has a hold.
Because she has a warrant for Seminole County.
Warrant from Seminole County. Okay, I was wondering. I didn't see any criminal history, and most of the time I don't see people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't. You have it updated? I have a hold from Seminole County, but it didn't say what it was for.
Oh, I can take this one. I think it's an FTA for a driving while license suspended.
Or for another driver license suspended case? All right. All right, Ms. Sapp, in your driver license suspended case, going to set your bond in amount of $500. In your no motor vehicle registration case, going to set your bond amount of $100. Condition of bond, no operating motor vehicle without valid driver's license in both cases. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in both cases. You have a great day.
Your Honor, could she be, I know she wasn't interviewed, could she be interviewed for pretrial release?
Oh, she wasn't qualified at that.
It's an open case. Yeah, the open case will disqualify from pretrial release. The driver license suspended case, 500, and then the other case, 100.
Your Honor, because
Yes,
she
ma'am.
can't post that bond, she would like to resolve it with the withhold credit time served.
Okay.
State was offering a withhold of adjudication credit time served.
In both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sapp, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down, ma'am. Ma'am, in both your cases, 2021 CT 6473 and 2021 CT 6474, the charges in those cases are second-degree misdemeanors, and they're punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and $500 fines on each case. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve these two cases?
No contest.
You understand, by entering a plea of no contest in this case is going to, you understand, by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you. You understand, you waive your right to have a trial in each case, right to challenge the state's evidence, call witnesses on your behalf.
Oh, yes.
All right, there we go. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Oh, yes.
All right. I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavits in these cases. Did find a factual basis contained in each case for your plea. Going to find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered on each case. I want to start my sentence. My sentencing was 6473. It's going to be a withhold adjudication of guilt. Give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court cost of prosecution in that case of $301. We'll give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full in that case. In 2021, CT 6474, going to withhold adjudication of guilt. Going to give you credit for 2 days in the Orange County Jail to run concurrent with 6473. Court costs in that case are $301, but I was going to ask the state, you seeking both court costs in both cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the state's consent, I'm going to waive those court costs in 6474 because it's coming out of the same transaction occurrence with 6473. All right, man, I'm going to give you you have 30 days in each case to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You understand?
Yes.
You may want to take advantage of all the green light programs and all the clerks are doing across the state to get your license back together.
Your Honor,
No, it's a withhold, no. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Rashid Tabor.
Mr. Tabor, you're here in case 2021 CT 6475 AO on charge of driver license suspended. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. It says state probation, but I think he just has a,
So you want to see in my eyes?
yeah, okay. No, I'm trying, it's an interstate compact case, he's on probation, another case, and, because the only thing I see is bail jumping in Georgia, which is, well, it is a crime, but I know they put people on probation for that, but, all right. All right, sir, I'm going to say your bond in this case, set your bond in this case about $500, condition your bond, no operating motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. All right, you have a great day, sir.
Say it again, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't want you to resolve your case because pretty much you'll be admitting to violating your probation or whatever kind of release, like whatever release condition you're on in Georgia, it looks that way. So I just set a bond in your case and I gave you an attorney. And I told you you can't drive a car without having a valid driver's license.
I get a bond, though?
Yeah, you got a bond, but you may not be able to bond out because you're on probation. And so whenever Georgia I'm quite sure your probation officer told Georgia that you here at the jail, so.
I mean, I told my probation officer yesterday, he told me, if I get a bond, when I get out, just come straight to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but he may arrest you when you get around the corner, so I'm just letting you know. You can get out, but depending on what Georgia says, they may not let you out. That's why I'm just letting give you fair warning as to that. So I don't want you to get back there and say, I'm going home, and then they telling you, oh, no, I ain't going home. All right?
Probation in Georgia no more.
All right, then that's fine.
First, Sereni, bonded. Lozado.
Lozado, okay. All right, Barbara, that's the next person. All right, can you tell me your name, sir? Your name?
Oh, Dana Jason Barber Jr.
All right, sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12665 AO on charge of possession of a controlled substance. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond amount of $1,000. Condition of bond, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Subject to random drug testing in this case. I was going to take action on your out on bond case 2021 CF 5019, but the state hasn't filed on that case since May. So not going to take action on your case.
Yeah.
But you may want to stay on the straight and narrow.
So
you got a bond. You're going to get out. You can get out today. You're going to be drug tested, but don't get arrested again.
So I got a bond. I can get out today.
You can get out today.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Just, stay out of trouble. All right.
Timothy Brown.
Mr. Brown, you're here in case 2021 CF 12661 AO on charge of attempted first murder with a firearm, and 2021 CF 12443 AO on a charge of shooting at or within a building and possession of weapon or firearm by convicted felon.
Your Honor, on that last case you just noted, the 12443, he already bonded on those cases.
On the warrant on that case?
Yes, and
Okay.
then that's when they added on the attempted first degree.
Well, I want to ask Mr. Brown, because State, I want to ask you what we want me to do as the 12661.
It's punishable by life, Your Honor. I'm gonna ask for no bond. I mean, yeah, no bond.
And Mr. Brown, Ms. George, I'm going to point to represent you, Mr. Brown. And Ms. George, what is your response?
Your Honor, we're not willing to waive our Arthur hearing. However, if you would use your discretion to set bond, if you would like to use your discretion,
All right.
I ask that you do.
So what I want to talk to Mr. Brown about, what I want him to talk to you about, is that, one, this case is obviously different than the case we had earlier this afternoon, whereas this case there's a video of what happened in this incident. But however, Mr. Brown, I want to see you tomorrow, because if I set a no bond status, your bondsman are going to come off of your bonds that you posted, because they're like, why am I holding on to these bonds if you're going to be at the jail? So you want to talk to your attorney about going off bond on those cases, and then all your cases being set with your Arthur hearing in front of your division judge. So I want to know, we'll talk to her about that first, and then because I intend to hold you at no bond as this attempted murder case. So talk to your attorney about what you want to do as your other case, so that way you can start, you have credit, because you won't be getting credit. If you still on bond, you won't be getting credit while you're sitting here waiting on your Arthur hearing. So.
Do that in court today, Your Honor? Could you?
The Arthur hearing?
No, the coming off of.
Yeah, I can do that today. I can do that right now. That's why instead of seeing him tomorrow. Start seeing people because they yeah, I was gonna come off his bonds, and I was gonna tell him I'm gonna go off bond on his cases, the other case. Yeah, I'm pointing at people public defender in both cases. But it's up to him. I mean, he'll just have to do two different credits.
Your Honor, if he comes off, he comes off of the bonds, does he get that money back? I'm not sure.
That's something you got to work out with the bondsman that you gave the money to. Yeah, you were just moving a little too fast, but I can't. That's something that you want to work out with them.
Yeah, I think that.
I'm more concerned about your credit than the money.
Yes, Your Honor, he would like you to come off of them.
All right. As 2021 CF 12661 AO, we're going to hold you at no bond as to that case. As 2021 CF 12443 AO, I already pointed public defender in both cases. We're going to go off bond on your cases to make sure you're getting credit on those cases. So you can work out with, you got to work out with the bondsman, your attorney, is possible way you can get those bonds reinstated if when you get your Arthur hearing within the time frame. In both cases, no contact with any victims or witnesses. In both cases, no weapons, no firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Not allowed to return to the scene of the incident where this crime occurred. Yeah, we just leave him. Yeah. I just want to make sure he's going to continue to get credit as because the incident is the same, just.
It's okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Right, Daniel Ellis.
What's your name?
Troy Daniel Ellis, and good afternoon.
I had Ferguson as my next person. I missed somebody?
He's next. Ferguson is next.
Yeah, no, Troy, I wonder if she, what happened to it? I wonder if she took it out, but then forgot to put it back in. All right. This is the aggravated battery on a pregnant person. Hold on. It's probably stuck to something else. This is the aggravated battery on a pregnant person. That's right, remember. Thank you. All right. All right, so you're here in case 2021 CF 12136 AO. Charges in the warrant are aggravated battery on a pregnant person in count 1, grand theft in count 2, grand theft motor vehicle in count 3, and trespass on property after warning in count 4. Judge found probable cause for your arrest. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good afternoon. It's Annabelle. My last name is Lalwani.
All right, and can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Please solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I can put your hand down, ma'am. Man, can you tell me how you know Mr. Ellis?
I knew him for 4 years. I'm the victim.
Yep. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Are you aware of his prior domestic violence history?
Yes.
Say all these cases involving this victim or some other victims?
I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't look at this one. I apologize. One moment.
I show his last arrest was February 11th, and it was with a different victim.
Because he has, I see a couple of different aggravated batteries, another aggravated battery on a pregnant person, dating violence. So,
That one, Your Honor, was on Keisha Snelling. So it was a different victim.
all right. All right, and knowing that, ma'am, you still want to have contact with Mr. Ellis?
Correct.
I can hear you.
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Ellis, in this case, count 1, I'm going to set your bond amount of $5,000. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $150. Count 4, $150. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return if you have anything at her residence to retrieve any personal items you have from that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I got one more question for you, ma'am. Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
All right. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you, Mr. Ellis. Do you have any questions about the stipulation? Listen to me. Hey, hello. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
She kind of said she wanted contact with me, and she's the mother of my child. So
I don't care.
Okay, no problem.
You understand? You
Yes,
understand the
sir.
stipulations of my no contact order?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you violate my orders, man, if you encourage him to violate my orders, you're going to be here, no bond, hanging out with me at Orange County Jail every day until somebody else lets you out. All right?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask how long would that be effective?
Until somebody in a black robe looks like me tells him that he can have contact with you or gives him some other form of contact.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Raymond Ferguson.
Mr. Ferguson, you're here in case 2021 CF 12650 AO on charges of petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions. I did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond amount of $1,000. Issuing the bond, no return to the scene or location, no contact with any victims or witnesses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Tyler Lettieri.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 12374 AO on a charge of fleeing attempt to elude law enforcement with licensed sirens activated. They reviewed the charging affidavit, the warrant, judge signed a warrant in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Will set your bond in that case in amount of $2,500. Addition of bond, no operating motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Say he has 2021 CT 4580, 2021 CT 4581. Do you have offers to resolve those cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Terry, we're going to revoke your bonds in those 2 cases. Going to set bonds in each case in the amount of $2,000. Condition of the bond, no operating motor vehicle without a valid driver's license in both cases.
Oh, I do have a bond or no?
Yep.
I sold the vehicle, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you can go to your next court date. I don't know when that is.
Um,
And talk to the judge or the prosecutor about you selling the vehicle.
I sold my motorcycle on the 6th, and they're saying that this happened. Maybe it's got to be a confusion because
Don't talk about the past.
I don't know.
I don't know nothing now.
Right now, this is military. Warrant in your case. Yeah. The allegations on 9/14 is the allegations in this case.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Lorenzo McIntosh.
Mr. McIntosh, you're here in case 2021 CT 12677 AO. Charges of possession of cocaine and driver license suspended. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond at count 1, amount of $1,000, count 2, $500. Addition to bond, no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing. No operating motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Is
Did you have an?
in both cases, or just the possession?
I'm sorry, I forgot the other case is CT. Forgot they did 2 affidavits. One second. I'm sorry. Why don't we have? What case? What? I was saying, okay, I thought it was in the same case. All right. So $1,000 count 1, $1,500 count 2. No operating motor vehicle, no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription, and random drug testing. State you have an offer for the open driver license suspended case.
No, Your Honor.
All right, 2021 CT 2684 AO, going to revoke that bond and set bonds in the amount of $2,000. Operating conditions, no operating motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Have a great day, sir. Appointed public defender represents you in both cases.
Yes, sir. So do I have a bond?
Yeah.
I set the bond. Thank you, sir.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Willard James Norrick.
Mr. Nork, you're here in case 2021 CF 12637 AO. Charges in count 1, trespass and occupied structure. So there's a trespass in other than a structure of conveyance. In count 1, disorderly conduct. In count 2, and possession of a weapon or firearm by convicted felon. In count 3, they reviewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bonds in the first 2 counts, amount of $100 each. Count 3, going to set your bond in the amount of $4,000. Condition of your bond, no weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. They have no contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. You have a great day, sir.
I was not given an affidavit.
All right, I'm appointing a public defender to represent you. We can get you a copy of the affidavit as soon as we can, all right?
Your Honor, can there also be a no return?
Yeah, that's it. No return, no contact with any victims or witnesses.
I should repeat my charge one more time.
It's trespass, other than structured conveyance, disorderly conduct, possession of firearm by convicted, possession of a weapon or firearm by convicted felon. All right?
Illegal firearm.
Well, if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to possess any concealed weapons or firearms, so. All right. Say, are you taking any action to this first charge?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Reese, I'm sorry, say your name.
Michael Derek Reese.
Mr. Reese, you're here in two cases. The first one, 2021 MM 6719 AO, charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Say was an offer to resolve this case?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
You want to stay your bond in that case, amount of $500. You're also here in case 2021 CF 6829 AO for violation of pretrial release conditions. Judge Calderon set your bond in count one, amount of $1,000, and in counts 2 and 3, in amount of $250 each. With a condition on your bond that you not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription in each case. You have a great day, sir. I'm appointing a public defender to represent him in his new case.
I don't have.
Yeah. This his handwriting is really bad. Is it? I thought it said 250.
250 and 500.
250 and 500? Okay, there you go.
So.
I'm saying the bond's 250, 500, I'm sorry. His handwriting look like mine.
An address.
Your Honor, he wants to ask you for pretrial release.
Because I'm in a secure place now, and I wasn't before, and I have 3 phone numbers, and I have an address.
Yeah, so that's something you got to talk to Judge Calderon about. Judge Calderon is the one who revoked your pretrial release. You don't qualify for pretrial release in other cases because you have an open case. So you need to talk to Judge Calderon about whether he's going to reinstate your pretrial release in that case, all right? All right, have a great day. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Daniel Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're here in case 2021 CF 12669 AO on charge of burglary of an occupied dwelling. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. We'll set your bond in this case amount of $8,000. Condition of your bond is you not return to the scene of the location, have no contact with any victims or witnesses, may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Is that all?
That's it?
Michael Smith, he's in the hospital.
What happened to roll? Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jonathan Roll.
Mr. Roll, you're here in case 2021 CF 7512 AO for a warrant signed by a judge for a charge of selling and delivery of cocaine. Judge found probable cause for your arrest. Bond in that case, $15,000. Addition to bond, no drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Am I able to get an affidavit? Because I've been in jail for 4 months and I don't know what this charge is about.
This looks like some add-on charge for something that happened probably during the course of this other trafficking case. But
Okay, so you say selling, delivery, and an alcohol charge?
no, you have a trafficking case that you've been in jail on, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is another charge that kind of happened probably during the same investigation. It looks that way.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm setting the standard bond amount. Doesn't make a lot of, just where somebody's. All right, you said Smith is in the hospital, correct?
Right.
All right, 2021 CF 12666 AO, Michael Smith, arrested on charges of armed burglary of an occupied dwelling, burglary of an occupied dwelling with an aggravated battery, and petty theft. Want to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Smith. All right, and state, what do you ask me to do as the counts 1 and 2?
Those charges are punishable by life, Your Honor. I would ask defendant be held no bond.
I think one's a life offense and the other one's a,
I'm sorry?
I think the armed burglary is a life offense, isn't it? Or is it a PPL? It's just semantics, but just, I was the one that was asking.
I believe they are both punishable by life.
All right. And,
Oh, I see.
one, sorry, and Ms. George, what was your response to the state's request? All right, Mr. Smith's case gonna note that he was found inside the house when all this occurred. Arrested inside the house when all this occurred. I'm going to state his bond in count 1 and 2 in amount of 0 bond, no bond. Count 3, gonna set a bond amount of $500. Condition of the bonds in this case, that he not return to the scene of location, no contact with any victims or witnesses, and that he not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. He also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Random drug testing for Mr. Smith. You want me to say it again? Okay. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jason Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, you're here in case 2021 CF 12670 AO on charge of possession of Xanax. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Give me 1 second here. Mr. Thompson, you have somewhere you get mail?
Yes, sir.
You have an address you can provide?
Yes, I can't remember the first digits. It's the Econo Lodge off International Drive.
Econo Lodge on International Drive, you have a room there?
Yes, sir.
What's your room number?
233.
333?
233.
233. All right, Mr. Thompson,
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to release you on reconnaissance as to this case.
Yes, sir.
But you need, a condition of your release, that you update your address with the clerk of court
Right.
as soon as possible,
Yes,
as soon as you get out. And one point, the public defender to represent you. So if you don't show up for court, and you don't respond to when you get something in the mail saying you have court, you're gonna get a warrant, and you're gonna be back here in front of me for failing to appear.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day.
Any conditions?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Abraham Torres, sir.
Mr. Torres, you're here in case 2021 CF 1266144 AO for a sex offender failure to register. They reviewed the judge signing your warrant in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case by $3,500. Condition your bond is you have 48 hours from the time you are released from the Orange County Jail to report to the sheriff's office as a violent sexual predator or sexual offender in this case. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
No, sir.
What, want to appoint a public defender to represent you so you have an attorney? Okay. You have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Michael Valeri.
Mr. Valeri, you're here in case 2021 CF 12612 AO on a warrant signed by a judge for the charges of no valid driver's license, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, and fleeing and attempt to elude law enforcement. Court found probable cause. Going to set your bond to count 1, amount of $100, count 2, $100, count 3 in amount of $2,000. Condition of your bond that you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, that you have no contact with any victims or witnesses from this case, and no operating with a valid driver's license and no contact with victims or witnesses. All right, sounds good to me. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jonathan Williams.
Mr. Williams, you're here in case 2021 CF 12653 AO on charges of robbery and grand theft of a firearm. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in count 1, amount of $5,000, count 2, $2,000, condition of bond, no contact with any victims or witnesses, no return to the scene of the location where the incident happened. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you. When is mental health?
All right, it's 2021 CF 12671 AO.